we'll do that when we come back. Yeah, we've got our weddings on, we'll do that when we come back. Hello mushrooms, this is Swindon Open Studio week, 2 weekends we have Swindon Open Studio and we are in the garden doing the preps ready for each weekend visit. There's Bashful Bertie and Handsome Hank, and I am just taking a few minutes off just to have a cup of tea and check that everything's in order and to record a whistle stop tour for you. There was some narrative with this short little bit of film about open studios, but because I had my phone on my camera on non-audio, whatever I was telling you is long gone into the ethos. Sorry about that, folks. But anyway, this is a place where I spend most of my time, in the pond. Not actually in the pond, but by the pond. I love watching the fish and the water boatmen. And I'm now looking for another frog. The other day I was stood by the pond and a frog leapt on the grass and hit the back of my leg. And was a bit confused that he didn't actually land in the pond. These are my two bantams. The black one is called Bib and the beige one is called Easter, and Egg is in the chicken house sitting on eggs. So back, this is my little red fish that pumps the water through. Just seeing again, I'm on a froggy hunt because I think that's one of the illustrations I might do next, is a froggy hunt. I don't know, let's have to see. But it was a lovely day, but unfortunately as the week's gone on, the weather's deteriorated. Hello little fishy. No, they get to know me, get to know when I'm looking at them. Anyway, this is Noah. He's inspired from my recent trip again from the New Forest. I'm just using a rough piece of paper here, and it has just come to my thought that maybe I should show you actually how I actually do the actual face and that. I always show you how to where to put the eyes on the lines for the eyes and nostrils and things. That's the same as you do a human face, but maybe I should show you a build-up of how to actually make the faces using shapes. And I've been drawing animals for so long now, it's second nature, and I don't often think about that part, just trying to marry up the noses and the eyesies and the ears. Ears. Anyway, it's just a rough piece of paper, nothing special. It's to go in my loose leaf journal. But at any time, if any of you do like the illustrations that I do and you would like to have a print, just email me or have a look on my Etsy shop. I've not updated that recently, but I will be doing that in the next week or so. But if you would like a print, they are available on A4 and A5 I think at the moment. So I'm just roughly sketching him out, just using the bog standard pencil and rubber, nothing fancy. And there he is, I've just rubbed him out. Now I'm only using household paints for this. They're quite thick and gloopy and they're cheap, and I'm just using a very, very old paintbrush because I want to create some kind of texture. I want to do a foundation of texture, and I'm starting with the dark paint and I'm going to go up to the very, very light paint at the top. So I'm just splodging it on. This is always the horrible kind of stage. You think, God, is it going to work? And you don't really know until it starts to dry. And by using an old paintbrush, I don't really matter if it gets ruined. You know, don't go using your new ones, will you? Just find an old one that's a bit misshapen. And I'm just splodging it on there, just casually, willy-nilly all over the place, because if you've got a dog or a cat or a horse, you know that the colour hairs, you know, are quite varied throughout the coat. And don't ever be worried about you losing your initial drawing. Your memory is fantastic. It does know where the places are, and the more you do it, the more it, you know, stays in place. If you are really worried, just do a quick tracing that you can put over the top, or just keep it, you know, just keep a copy of it so you can lay it over and remember where the bits and pieces go. And as you can see, by putting the lights on now, knocks the dark brown back, and it's given quite a fluffy texture all over his little face and neck. I will try it before I actually continue with more of it in between stages. And here I am in the gazebo, and there's my 3 chickens, and Alberto the frog, and Aunt Daisy. They are models for my book Debbie's Magic Garden, and these are the illustrations in the book. Uncle Hector there, and there's the picture of Aunt Daisy, and there's Alberto. And I also teach ceramics, and this is called Tear Carry of the World, and some early horses that I did a long time ago, and those are from the Endangered Species exhibition. I've only got 2 left. They were poorly made with air pockets, so they would explode in the kiln and show how fragile the animals are that are endangered. And here is Dylan and Zebedee. They're from the book too, Debbie's Magic Garden, and there's my magpies. And this is just some of the pictures in my folder. The big pieces are originals, and the small pieces are also original illustrations from different workshops I've done. And if anyone is interested in a print at all, do let me know. I'm more than willing to, you know, send you a print of the colour. This is my glum cod and the princess and the swans. And there are Dylan and Zebedee. These are the actual original illustrations. And Aunt Daisy's original illustration, and Alberto. And a giraffe I used for journaling workshop, where you create an animal and journal into the patches. This is upside down. This is a print using the printmaking technique. And some more pictures, illustrations. This is from Lifebook, and this is me in a nook and all the ideas floating in my head. And this is Ariadne, and this is me in my lovely yellow coat. My friend Sally loves in a nook, a little bit like Big Bird in that. And this little chap lives in my bathroom. There's a whole load of them, so I made an illustration for school showing how you can use found objects. It's Uncle Hector again. This is a picture about identity, people's identity. And this is about how sometimes people use dogs as identity. And I don't know if you see this very well, but this is embossing using the print machine again. This is identity of culture and food and clothing. In the background, again, just a quick look in the gazebo. So now we're going to go to my greenhouse. I've taken all the tomatoes out, and these are some more ceramics. These are called the Clockwork Ponies, and they're made out of stoneware, and they're gas fired, not electric. And these are my Eco Echoes. That's Brooke and Conquer, Lichen, Leaf, Bark, Puddle, here's the book that they belong to that I've written. And this is Mossy. Puzzle and Flint need to be remade because they have been sold. And we're just looking back at the donkey. Now I filled in some other bits, some other colours, and I'm just putting his eye in now so I can begin to build up his personality in my head. I'm just using a black Posca pen. I tend now to use the black Posca pen for the eye because it gives me much more control and the real dark shadows that I need to put in. By using the black Posca pen gives me a really deep shadow, but I can always knock it back by colouring on top of it as well, so I get that initial darkness that gives some of the 3D, just outlining the blackness of the donkey's ears. They have like a line around their ears which also goes down their back. It's called a dorsal line and it's the shape of a cross. And it also sometimes goes down the back of the mane too. So again, I'm just filling in the really dark areas so I can build on top, and it gives me a little bit more definition on the donkey. So it's not quite alive yet, it does a bit look like the Walking Dead of the donkey world, but I'm not really too concerned about that because I build up a narrative in my head while I'm doing this. Again, a shadow under his forelock or fringe. How do you in America if you call ponies forelocks bangs? That's so funny because we do call them fringes here too. And I'm just using a normal pencil here. This is I think it's a B pencil, not actually me, but a B type pencil. And I'm just using my fingers to rub in some more shading just to give it a bit more definition. Now a lot of people don't recommend using your fingers because of the oil in your hand, but I'm not really concerned about that because this is just an illustration for me. It's, you know, if anyone's interested in having it in print, that's fine, but it's not for exhibition, it's not a commission, so I'm not really worried. If I was worried, I would use a paper stub or cotton wool pad. And again, it's just giving definition, which is really difficult on a donkey because they are really fluffy. And they're not like horses or dogs where the hair lies down really flat, so you get that lovely definition. They are fluffy. They are related to camels and goats. They're not waterproof, believe it or not. They do get extremely wet and take a long time to dry because of the kind of fur that they do have. The hair is quite water absorbent and they are desert animals anyway. So again, I'm still giving more definition to the ears and rubbing it down. Remember, I'm going the way that the face is and the neck. Remember, it's a 3D object that you are trying to convey. It's not flat, even though you are working on a flat piece of paper. And you can do this for as long or as little as you want, building up the definition. I don't have a lot of time, so I've done it quite quickly. This is quite a quick illustration. And now I'm going over with coloured pencils, just again to give the texture of long shaggy hair. I'm starting off with a grey. Again, trying to think of the direction that the hair goes. That's shadowing his nose. And his mane. Now, I completely dried the paint before I actually went on with the pencil as well. Because if you don't, it just becomes very smudgy. Just use hairdryer or a heat gun, a craft heat gun, not one you do for paints. Otherwise they'll just burn the paper. And again, trying to give some more texture to the mane. Now I'm using a darker grey and building up again more shadow, more depth in the ears, in the neck. In fact, I think it's black, but you can't see it very well. Yes, it's definitely a black pencil. So I'm just looking at the top of the pencil to remind myself, even though I'm only just come out of the studio. I think I need a cup of tea. I can't stop now. But yeah, building up more shadow, more definition. And now I'm using some sandy brown, because some donkeys are really quite brown and not grey. We seem to think of the standard donkey as an all grey, but actually they're not. There are lots of different colours, and where they've been interbred, the colours come through in the foals. And now I'm using just a white pencil to give more highlight. I'm using white pencil because it's quite soft. And again, do the little star on his forehead and give him a little highlight on his nose. And using just a white pencil. And again, these are Faber-Castell pencils I think I'm using. They are watercolour pencils, but I've chosen at this time to just use them as normal pencils just to create texture. If you wanted to, you could actually use them as watercolour to add build up on the colour. I don't have the time today. And this is a white gel pen. Hello Donkey, how are you? Hello Noah. And now he is looking at me. And I'm just highlighting the different areas. In fact, I just noticed that when I put the eye on, it looks like he's beginning to smile. So he's gone from a very serious donkey to quite a fun little chap. So I'm just thinking of the areas where the light will catch. And his eye. And his cheek. Just picking up odd little bits of light. Because they're quite furry, they don't kind of shine like horses do. But sometimes it does catch the texture. The light catches the texture on them. This is what I'm hoping to show. And these are the prints and all the different prints that I have. Hello Lucky! Lucky now lives in America, and this is a zine that I've done. I will be doing some more in the future, show you how I've done it. And this is a print using polytile and a print using a printing press. And again, these are the prints of, that's Dylan, and these are my Saxo prints. And they are all for sale as part of Nova Studio. And this is Lucky, my giant giraffe. And these are pictures that were part of an exhibition. And I kind of like them, so I didn't want to sell them, so they stay in my front room. And this is another print that I did. You see a printing press. It's about water. And hello Giraffe, you can see her on YouTube if you would like to watch her process. And also Alfred is on YouTube too if you want to see him. And we're back to Noah now. Now I'm using the Uniball pen. It's brilliant. They do go over everything. But it's a little bit tricky because the pencils do leave a waxy layer, so you may have to try different black pens to get the outline. This was what I came across was a bit annoying with the wax, but I needed the texture. And again, I'm just building up just little areas, just more detail of him. It's been quite fun to do. Donkeys aren't something I do very often, like pigs I suppose. I don't do them very often either. So I'm enjoying this YouTube channel, getting to do different animals that I don't do all the time. And going out and about places. Finding them. And again, I'm using the pen to pick up the texture of the It is a quick sketch. Although it's speeded up, it's not something I've taken a great length of time on. I've probably spent an hour and a half doing it, so it's just what I would call a cartoon or a more detailed sketch. Again, picking out the outlines, just giving them more definition. This is the paper I chose to put him on. I didn't want to bother with a background. And another one of my pictures. This is called Saturday Night, Sunday Morning. That's been brought down to finish. Can't see that one very well. It's called the Motherboard. I do have video on it. And these are the Saxo paintings that are in the hallway to show you that actually Saxo is quite big. The small prints that I do small cartoons that go out for Free Art Friday, and they can go into big canvases. Again, the original print. Peek into my studio. Someone's asked me to do a video on my studio, which I will do. This is Serengeti after the rain. I swear, I don't know if anyone knows this in my garden, but when the Serengeti gets rained on, all the flowers come into life, and I think it would be brilliant if the colours soaked into the black lines on the zebras. Anthony Bridge, this is another picture I've done. This is called Clash of the Titans. It's an abstract, acrylic and pen. And this is Creation. Going through my shelves and just showing you up the stairs now. Mad Hatter. No, it's not the Mad Hatter, it's the Marsh Hare. This is called Wig and Bus Stop, and these are my shelves. This is what my friend Cam made me, and the little white pods are ceramic. They are made from porcelain, and they are called The Sound of Water. They are also for sale in Sweden Open Studio. My snail mail little guy who loves to post on a normal day. This is the Golden Chain. It is currently in one of the iBooks. You can see it in there. And Dylan was one of the finalists on San Francisco International Fox's Craft. This is my lounge. A quick look again. It's my energy pot I made, and another abstract picture that I've done. That's the energy pot. Currently home. Oh, we got engaged. While we was at the New Forest, me and Eddie got engaged. And here's some of our cards. Here's Paris Prince, if you see on YouTube. This is one of the rock faces on Everest, and my shelves. You can see where I get a lot of my inspiration from. And this is one of my favourite pieces of the shelf. Some boxes I haven't unpacked since I've moved. I haven't had a lot of time. I just love these shelves. I love the way the wood is. The wood dictated how the shelves would go. Hallways, one in my hallway, one above the door, and I think that is, the other one was a willow tree. The piece of wood used in there is elder, and again the table set up with my prints, Harry Agnew. Some courses that I do for mindful, compassionate art, Uncle Hector. I've shown you these, and back to my donkey. I've stuck him down using Yes Paste. I think it's one of the best ones because it doesn't bubble up. It's a dry paste. It's obviously not dry as in dry, but it's not runny. It's quite thick, like a grease, like Vaseline. And I'm just going around Noah's head with a Stabilo pencil, and I'm using a cotton wool bud to kind of make him pop out, but it's not really working very well because of the paper that I've used to stick him on. It's not brilliant. It's quite a waxy surface, so I'm using a semi-dried baby wipe just to spread it a bit more. It was quite a difficult paper to work on, and you don't really know these things until you actually start to use it as a paper, to start to work with it. So again, just giving them a little bit more definition. I hope you've enjoyed this, and if you have, I'd love it for you to subscribe, thumbs up and comment. I really enjoy doing these little sketches for you, and I do hope that you learn something from them. And if you'd be interested in me doing a class at all, do let me know.